everyone. My name is Swamp, and it is TikTok Tuesday. In unrelated news, real quick, I just saw that Matt Walsh's Twitter account has been hacked. Someone's posting dumb stuff on his account. Let's see if I can pull it up. There you go. My pronouns are that nigga. Ben Shapiro, you know what you did. You are a closeted homosexual and hide behind being Jewish. Wait, is that actually Matt Walsh? Who knows? Joe Rogan is a pedophile. I ain't a gangsta. I'm a sassy shooter. I don't know, maybe Matt Walsh wasn't hacked. Maybe this is just Matt Walsh. Who knows? All right. On to the show. So we're going to I'm going to change it up a little bit for this TikTok Tuesday. But before we do, remember to like the stream. Make sure you turn your chat to live chat so you can actually see everybody. Of course, if you want to support the channel, super chats are much appreciated, and we'll activate the super chat jukebox. Let's see here. Let's see what we got. Kung Flu. All right. So if you want more awesome songs like that, be sure to send a super chat. So, on to TikTok. I have no idea what TRUSCUM is. I came across it today. Sounds exactly like something that the left would come up with. But here's someone explaining what we're about to see. And as always, this is at least the video that I found first, and we find out what TRUSCUM, I never heard of this before. So let's see what this smart young man has to say about it.
So since I don't want to platform a racist bigot, and also don't want to force you guys to sit through seeing the exact same racist, transphobic bigot on your timeline for the millionth time, this is going to be a general education video that's very vague, talking about transmedicalism. For those unfamiliar, transmedicalism is the belief that you can only truly be transgender if you experience gender dysphoria. One way that transmedicalism shows itself is the belief that unless a trans person's goal is to fully medically transition, then they are not truly trans, but rather what transmedicalists refer to as trans-trenders. For this reason, transmedicalists, also referred to as TRUSCUM, do not believe in the validity of non-binary people who are gender fluid, people who use neopronouns, etc. And there are many reasons people are TRUSCUM, with one of the bigger ones among older trans people being the belief that those who use neopronouns make a mockery out of the trans community. But whatever you want to call them, transmedicalists, TRUSCUM, whatever, the one thing they definitively are is bigots. Transmedicalists are people, often trans people, who are transphobic. And while their gender identity is valid, their takes on others' identities is not. So since I don't want to platform...
Yeah, whatever all that stuff means. I honestly don't know. But it is fascinating to watch infighting with these people, because they're just arguing about absolute made-up nonsense. So what does it matter? But I thought it would be fun to go through the hashtag TRUSCUM on TikTok. And we'll see if we can, who's the craziest person we can find. So TRUSCUM, and of course, I figured I'd add in the TERFs, because that's one that they love to complain about. And I guess they're kind of on the same page. I saw the hashtags together quite frequently. So, all right, let me refresh this. Hashtag TRUSCUM. So I guess it's, if I'm understanding the definition that this guy gives for this, It is that trans people who believe that you have to actually have dysphoria and want to transition, they're scum because they think that it's, I don't really know. It's that I guess they're using the old rules of what transgender is, which includes gender dysphoria, a mental disorder, and one treatment of it could be to transition, I guess. That's no longer kosher for the left. It has to be anyone can do anything at any time for any reason, and none of it makes any sense. I don't really know. Nothing these people say makes sense. All right, let's start it off. TRUSCUM, take it away.
Double tap if you hate TERFs. So this is going to be controversial, but I just think if you're a trans person that gatekeeps other trans people, that you're just as bad as TERFs. If you agree with me, share this post. And if you disagree, tell me why in the comments. Double tap if you hate TERFs.
Wow. So this is tagged with TRUSCUM. Though he never mentions TRUSCUM in it. Wow. I didn't think we were going to start off that strong. I'm going to save this account. Give this young man a follow.
So this.
How different versions of me would respond to you asking me my pronouns?
I cannot stand whatever this music is.
Yeah, totally. This is what Wikipedia defines as a TRUSCUM. Trans medicalist, a belief that people that identify as transgender but don't experience dysphoria or undergo a medical transition are not genuinely trans. Yeah, totally. This is what Wikipedia defines as a TRUSCUM. Trans medicalist,
I still feel like I'm not understanding what TRUSCUM is.
belief that people that identify as transgender but don't experience dysphoria or undergo a medical transition are not genuinely trans. Yeah, totally.
So it makes you scum to think that to be trans, you have to actually be trans. I don't understand this logic at all. Why does this make you a bigot? I don't get it. And why does this guy look like he's like he looks and kind of sounds like Corey Feldman or something. He looks like one of the Frog Brothers from Lost Boys. I mean, listen.
This is what Wikipedia defines as a TRUSCUM. Trans medicalist, a belief that people that identify as transgender but don't experience dysphoria or undergo a medical transition are not genuinely trans.
So since I don't want to platform a racist bigot and also don't want to...
Okay, but I'm not going to support it, and I have my right to not support that.
Here's my problem with Calvin Guerra. I'm only going to focus on the whole neopronoun part, not the identifying and dressing how you want as a whole. I can make another video about that a different time, but I've said it a million times before. Calvin, what you said in your video is not only transphobic, but also inherently ableist. And yes.
Oh man, it just keeps getting worse. TRUSCUM, bigoted, ableist. What's next? Racist? This is just going off the rails.
You can be ableist while having ADHD. A lot of the people who are MOGI and use neopronouns are neurodivergent, autistic,
Good
ADHD,
Lord,
whatever.
this is like listening to another language. What in the hell? What? Okay.
Not only transphobic, but also inherently ableist. And yes, you can be ableist while having ADHD.
See if I can
a lot of the people who are MOGI and use neopronouns are neurodivergent.
A lot of the people who are MOGI with neopronouns are neurodivergent. What does that even mean? I genuinely have no idea what that means. What the hell? Jeez. What's a MOGI? I'm afraid to even Google it. I have no idea what's going to show up. Define MOGI. Montana Oil and Gas Incorporated. Migration Order Gateway and Interchange. I think that this person is not... This is not what this person's referring to. Continue. I'm sure it'll make sense by the time we finish the video.
Autistic, ADHD, whatever. They have a hard time pinpointing gender as a feeling. We have a hard time with feelings. That's why I have an emotion chart on my wall. Say I really like frogs, and frogs was a special interest of mine. It's something I know, it's something I'm familiar and comfortable with. So I may use frogs pronouns because I'm comfortable with it and it makes me happy. Gender, don't understand. Frogs do understand. So I will combine the two and identify as this. Did I explain it enough for you?
No, not at all. That was really incoherent nonsense. What?
But I'm not
one more time.
I have my right to not support that.
Here's my problem with Calvin Guerra. I'm only going to focus on the whole neopronoun part, not the identifying and dressing how you want as a whole. I can make another video about that a different time, but I've said it a million times before. Calvin, what you said in your video is not only transphobic, but also inherently ableist. And yes, you can be ableist while having ADHD. A lot of the people who are MOGI and use neopronouns are neurodivergent, autistic, ADHD, whatever. They have a hard time pinpointing gender as a feeling. We have a hard time with feelings. That's why I have an emotion chart on my wall. Say I really like frogs, and frogs was a special interest of mine. It's something I know, it's something I'm familiar and comfortable with. So I may use frogs pronouns because I'm comfortable with it and it makes me happy. Gender, don't understand. Frogs do understand. So I will combine the two and identify as this. Did I explain it enough for you?
No, I still don't get it. I don't get it at all. And hey, someone found it on someone found a MOGI. Marginalized orientations, gender alignments, and intersex. Wow, that is dumb as hell. So it's basically it's like it's those made up terms like BIPOC and POC. They love stuff like that. It's amazing how they love coming up with acronyms and words, but they don't ever communicate anything of value. Oh.
Horny people have no rights. Oh no.
What the fuck?
Make peace with the little Calvin Guerra that lives inside your head. Because that little Calvin Guerra is very hurt.
What am I looking at?
And it feels like it's never going to be accepted by anyone. So it just sits in its corner and it yells at you and it yells at itself and it cries and it tries to fit inside a tiny little box that kept you closeted for so long anyways. Don't listen to that little Calvin Guerra, because it doesn't even listen to itself.
Okay, I have no idea who Calvin Guerra is. I guess that was the person at the beginning of this.
I'm not going to support it, and I have my right to not support that.
It seems that a lot of this stuff that's hashtagged with TRUSCUM is about this guy. So this guy did something bad.
I want to talk about something that a lot of trans people are afraid to talk about. Let's talk about detransitioning. I'm Blaine, and I detransitioned. The body detransitioned.
Your name is not Blaine. I can guarantee you that. That's your new name that you chose. That sounds exactly like a name one of these people would pick. What is your real name, Blaine?
I detransitioned. And not because I'm not trans. I'm still trans. I didn't detransgender myself. I just am not medically able to take testosterone. Ever. I'm never allowed to. Because I have mental health issues that prevent me from doing so. So I had to come to a place where my dysphoria doesn't rule my life and doesn't stop me from living my best truth. Even if I can't medically transition, even if I can't take hormones, and even if I can't get every single change that I wanted to see out of my transition. I didn't detransition socially.
What in the hell?
I detransitioned hormonally. And that does not negate my experience being trans. It doesn't make me any less trans. I am still trans.
What in the hell? Get out of here.
know where this about to go.
I have no idea what this is about. When a cis person won't stop calling themselves a too cute trans med TRUSCUM. What? This really is a whole different universe. With its own language and everything, as I have no idea what the hell's going on.
Alright, hi everyone. I have tried to make this video so many times. This time I think I'm gonna get it. So by now I'm assuming that you are aware of Piggy Taiwan screenshotting Hunter Schafer's Instagram story and posting it, and the drama that has ensued.
No. Peach, I am not aware of this. What is TikTok?
I'm sorry, no. Did I really just see a trans med defending Calvin calling a 15-year-old the R word? The defense being he has ADHD. No. Having ADHD does not give you the right to call others the R word. Ever.
What is going on? This is a bizarre... This is a very strange hashtag. I have no idea.
I'm gonna say it. TRUSCUM is gross and dangerous and not helpful and not true. I've never liked the TRUSCUM community, and I've been really vocal about my opinions about it. Recently, this guy named Isaac reached out in my DMs. He used to run a popular TRUSCUM blog, and once he got out of the community, he was better able...
Wait, so TRUSCUM isn't an insult that was made for these people? This is what this community calls itself? I am extremely confused by whatever's going on.
Able to really love himself. We both think this is a really important topic to talk about. So, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. PST, we will be live on my Instagram account at mars.right. I want to end with this. I had to delete my blog for my own health. Now I feel really secure in my identity and love myself a lot more. I'm no longer threatened by experiences I don't understand. To any TRUSCUM out there that this video made mad, I really encourage you to come to the live. I want to create a space of inclusion, and I want to hear your opinions and your thoughts. I'm not saying either thing is right or wrong. I'm just stating my opinion, and I'd love to hear from other people, and I just want to do what's right for the community at large, and I don't want anybody to feel bad or hurt or be threatened or bullied. I'm gonna...
What in the hell? What in the hell? I'd feel like we're hearing through a portal into another universe. This is we live on Earth Prime. This is Earth 70. Some kind of weird offshoot in another dimension. Gee. Wow.
Permit me to use the pronouns fox/foxb.
Oh, it's this person again.
Are you sure it's that hill and not this one instead?
You dropped this.
What?
Permit me to use the pronouns.
And they've got almost the same hair. It's the same color. I have no idea what this video was referring to.
When you ask TRUSCUM why they don't want non-dysphoric people identifying as trans, what they'll...
Look at this face right here and tell me cross-sex hormones are healthy. This person is dying in real time on TikTok. This person looks like they're on heroin. I mean, what is going on? This is like a meth head.
People identifying as trans. What they'll usually say is something along the lines of like, well, I just don't think that non-dysphoric people and dysphoric people have a similar enough experience for us to both call ourselves trans. Here's the thing. The definition of transgender means to identify as a gender other than the one you were assigned at birth. That's it. That's all that it takes. Being trans isn't like a club that you get to kick people out of when you can't relate to their experience enough. Like, if I'm talking to a trans person and they're like, I hate having a beard. My beard makes me so dysphoric. I can't relate to that. I would love to have a beard. Like, you know what I mean? But that doesn't mean I'm more trans or less trans than that person. It's not a competition. It's just an identifier. When you ask TRUSCUM why they...
What in the... The internet was definitely a mistake. And I know I'm on the internet streaming right now, but damn, some people cannot handle it. This is crazy. I did not understand a word of that. I did not understand a word of that. Not even close. Good Lord.
And they say if we'll only avoid any confrontation with the enemy, he'll
go away.
The fourth dimension is my own mansion. It's all messed up, I don't care.
I heard a notification on my phone, and then I looked at it, and the king of transmeds has noticed me, guys. CEO of nose rings. I heard a notification.
I don't get the joke. I'm sorry.
Hey, trans guys that wear makeup and trans women who present as butch aren't a hindrance on the trans community and should be respected as the gender that they are. And yeah. Hey, trans guys that wear...
Please shave. Good Lord. That is disgusting. Look at that. Oh, God. That is greatly offensive. Wow. I couldn't even hear a word that Andy here was saying because I was so offended and grossed out by this. Yeah, the chin pubes. Good Lord, that is disgusting. Oh, man. Get out of here.
I'm gonna try to do this as quick as I can because I only have like a minute. So I used to be a huge TRUSCUM, not anymore. Now, I'm a certified trender, and I'm gonna talk about why. By the way, I do experience dysphoria. Trans medicalism is harmful because it makes trans people believe that being trans and gender dysphoria are a mental illness. I think we've all accepted by now that being gay, a homosexual, isn't a mental illness, right? It's just a part of your identity. It's part of who you are. It's part of what you like.
I don't think we've all accepted that.
Why is being trans any different? Back in the 1960s, they tried to medicalize being gay. They tried to see it as a mental illness, a mental disorder, and they tried to treat it. Oh no, that's wrong! But many trans medicalists are trying to do the same thing to people in the trans community. But it's trans people against other trans people. We, as a society, made up the concept of gender, which means we can edit it and fix it how we like. All words are made up. Neopronouns are made up. He, she was once made up.
That's when you know that you have lost whatever argument you're trying to say, when you fall back on, well, wait, what do words mean anyway? Wait, humans just made up words. That is a good indication that whatever you're saying is bullshit. Yeah, well, I mean, skibbity floobity. Flabla beak boob. Thank you. Thank you for that, Miss Cherry.
You don't have to have dysphoria to be trans. Oh, God. Plenty of people have very little to no dysphoria and still don't identify as the gender they were assigned at birth. So unless your definition of trans is different than mine, I don't know what to tell you. Google it. You don't have to have dysphoria.
Man, dude. You need to get your life together, brother. I do not know what events have transpired to put you down this road, but you need an intervention fast. Yeah, this is definitely 100% this is a pedophile. Not even up for debate. God. That's please do not go within 500 feet of a school.
If you don't have dysphoria and want to medically transition, you're not trans. To some extent, instinctively, I want to agree with you.
Shut up.
So I am what is called a trans medicalist, which means I believe you need gender dysphoria to be trans. I, of course, try my best to be respectful when talking about it and talking to other people about it, because I expect the same thing in return. And over time, I realized there is this big misconception about gender dysphoria. A lot of people say, oh, they don't have gender dysphoria because they don't hate their body. Like a lot of other mental-related stuff, this can vary from person to person. Gender dysphoria can vary. Like I said...
Damn it, woman. Change the batteries in your smoke alarm. Good lord. Can you believe there's people who walk around that this is what occupies the space in their mind? This is the crap that they're thinking about? Good lord. And what the hell is this hashtag? Hashtag XYZBCA. What the hell is that? Let's see what we get. It's a popular hashtag that people use in hopes of getting more views on TikTok. What? Urban Dictionary. Popular hashtag used on TikTok. No one really knows the meaning because there is no meaning. Wow. TikTok is something else, man. I have no idea what's going on.
I said there's mostly two main types that I can think of. Body dysphoria and social dysphoria. The way you look and the way your body feels and the way you are referred to in public. Not all trans people are going to transition. And I've heard a lot of these people say, oh, I don't have dysphoria, when they may actually have a form of it, it's just less severe. So I am what is called a trans medicalist.
Tap in. Tap in. Well, I'll be honest, I don't really understand. Tap in.
Anyway, you guys want to see the first result that comes up when you type in Calvin Gara's name, or Gara, whatever. Calvin Gara, a popular YouTuber. He used his platform to bully people and promote hate, including attacks on various transgender and non-conforming YouTubers. Anyway, you guys... Transgender and non.
While I appreciate discourse in my comments, I do not want to have problematic content on my page anywhere. Comments like these exemplify a concept known as trans medicalism.
Oh yeah, my mic was off. Damn. Oh well. It's got to happen at least once during the stream.
Colloquially known as TRUSCUM ideology.
Colloquially.
What this means, or what this ideology is the idea that transgender people need to have dysphoria in order to be transgender. This is harmful because it convinces transgender people that they need to either go through surgery or like change their name or do any of these sort of actions in order to be taken seriously.
I can tell you right now, ma'am, those actions will not get you taken seriously. In fact, the exact opposite. the exact opposite. If there is a man out there who's like, I really would like to be taken seriously, you know what? I'll chop my dick off. That is not how you get taken seriously. I'm sorry, it's not.
This is not true. And I've already explained why it's not true in a previous TikTok, so go check that out.
No, I'm good.
As time ticks by, still I try.
I really can't stand this side of TikTok. The lip sync with text on the screen that has nothing to do with whatever they're lip syncing to. God, I can't stand it. And this, where it's just some random video with a wall of text. I'm not reading that. Ah.
How much can you fit under your skin? How much can you fit under...
No.
These ladies are hot. They're so very hot.
So much stage till I saw it. We the niggas and they touch. We so short, I like short.
These ladies.
What the fuck was that? What? And why do you look so disgusting? Good Lord. Take a shower and change your clothes, woman.
I'm going to do another video on how you can be trans without having dysphoria. Now, let's look at 3 types of attitudes you can have towards your gender. You could be uncomfortable, that represents gender dysphoria. You could be neutral, or you could be comfortable, and that represents being cisgender or being trans after transitioning. If you are neutral about your current gender, but you think that you would be happier if you transition, that is the feeling of gender euphoria. When you think about being your true gender or you do something that represents your true gender, gender euphoria. You could have gender euphoric feelings towards another gender and still be trans. Just like you could do something during your day that makes you happy without having to be sad first. It's a pretty simple concept, but people don't really understand what gender euphoria is.
Oh, man, dude. It's amazing how these people just make shit up out of nowhere and then say, I'm going to tell you how this works. Here's a bunch of made up bullshit. This is not based in anything. This person just completely made this up. They're complete gibberish. Man, it's impressive, honestly.
Trans people don't owe you gender conformity. Non-binary people don't have to be androgynous. Trans men can wear dresses and makeup and all sorts of shit. And trans women can be butch and hairy as fuck. And there's nothing you can do. Trans people don't owe you gender conformity.
Man, that is gross. Absolutely gross. Damn.
Why do y'all like to call me a gatekeeper when I say cis people can't be true scum? Hello, I am transgender. I am part of this community, so I want to be...
Well, hopefully this sounds back on now. I think I'm going to add this person to the list. So far, I've got... Let's see here. Andy and William. This crazy looking dude. This guy. Man. There's a lot going on there. Oh, I'm not following them yet. I've gotta follow. 39.7 thousand followers this dude has. Just crazy. Well, I'm gonna grab... Alright, that was 2 people from the TRUSCUM hashtag. So now let's grab 2 people from the TERF hashtag. And then we will have them battle it out in the vote. I think that's... I was trying to come up with a new way of doing it so it's not always exactly the same. So let's do it this way. Alright. Let's check out the hashtag TERFs.
If you're a woman and you agree with any of the things that I'm about to show you, please watch the full video.
I've seen people talk about how we can't say feminine products anymore, or we shouldn't say feminine products anymore. It's not a pregnant mom, it's a birthing person, it's not breastfeeding, it's chest feeding. oh, we're trying to be inclusive to all these other people, I feel like womanhood is being washed away.
Let me start by saying, hi, my name is Zaya. I'm a 20-year-old transgender woman. And recently I've been seeing a lot of discourse between trans and cis women. And I just want to add my 2 cents. So please hear me out.
The voice is always a dead giveaway. Every time.
Transgender women are not a threat to womanhood, like whatsoever. Let me explain. The reason you've been seeing an increase of trans inclusive language is because currently right now, trans people's lives are at risk. Like, did you know there have already been over 200 anti-trans bills introduced in the US this year? And Donald Trump said that if he wins the presidency in 2024, he will make it a key point to ban anyone from transitioning at any age. And unfortunately, this means if we don't do or
I don't think Trump ever said that. But I mean, it's whatever. It doesn't matter. They're just going to say whatever they want.
say anything, we are looking at trans genocide in the future of the United States. The reason you've been seeing more trans
That's hilarious, because I was about to say, you know, I guess they can believe whatever they want about Donald Trump because they believe there's a trans genocide going on.
Of language in the media is to remind people that trans people exist and we have always existed and we're not going anywhere. When it comes to inclusive language like birthing person or chest feeding, nobody's forcing you to use those terms. In fact, most people don't use those terms at all. Terms such as
That's not true at all. Of course it's being forced on you.
Birthing person and chest feeding, those are there for people like trans men or non-binary people who just want to feel included. If you're a pregnant woman and you want to be called a mother or you want to call it breastfeeding, go ahead. Nobody is stopping you, like as you should. Most people use those terms anyways still. It's just that some people do not, and that's okay to acknowledge. The people that you see saying that you have to use inclusive language or you can't use the word mother are usually crying.
I love how these people, they always, no one's making you do this. All right, come on. You're just gaslighting me now. Because when people don't do it, you freak out. Like this. The whole point of you making this video is to call out this actual woman for not liking this stuff. So, yeah.
Y'all feel like this is more of an issue than it actually is. Also, most trans women fully realize that the trans experience is way different than the experience of someone who was born female. I realize.
Yeah, this person sounds like a trans person from like 4 years ago. Because now we have trans people who say that they have periods. So they trans women are women. This person's behind the times, man. Behind the times. And what a long-ass video.
Let's talk about women's spaces and how some trans women can be misogynistic while I do my nails. A lot of cisgender women have pointed out that they don't want transgender women in their women's-only spaces, citing that a decent amount of us have functionally lived as men for many years and can have some traces of misogyny left in us. And the thing about that is, yeah, some trans women are capable of being assholes. Some trans women are capable of abuse. I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for trans women who are being sexist in favor of some
definitely getting added to the
demand for inclusion.
This person's definitely getting added to the list of people for this TikTok Tuesday. This is going to be one of the contestants for sure. Jeez, that is brutal.
Is it the things that obsessed with power?
So I guess this person's trying to show us that if you take steroids, your muscles will get bigger? Is that what this woman is trying to show us? Okay, I'm aware of that.
They want to exterminate us.
Nobody's talking about extermination. No one ever talks about it. They just do it.
Oh my god. These people.
So TERFs are on some shit again, and this time it's actually quite funny. In her own words, after a bottle of wine and a bottle of whiskey, Sal Grover made a women's-only social app called Giggle. It screens users.
What the hell am I looking at? I'm not. This is weird. This woman is weird, and I don't know if it's actually a woman or not, but it's weird. I don't want to look at it anymore.
If you've spent any amount of time talking about gender online, you've probably come across this meme. And the worst part is, the cis people on this side think that they're really clever and know much better than you. An analogy that I like to use is, for example, when you're a little kiddie, you learn that 2 + 2 = 4. But then a bit later, when you're a bit more grown up, you learn about different bases, and for example, in base 3 you have 2 + 2 = 1. And then when you're even older, if you keep doing maths, you're going to learn about group theory, and you're going to learn that there are some groups.
Totally off topic, but I really hate when people call maths. It just hits the ear wrong. British people, you're totally wrong on this one. It sounds stupid. Maths. And I've seen British people talk about this and say that, well, they just say, Americans just say math, like there's only one. What? Are you saying there's more than one equations that exists, so you call it maths? No, saying maths sounds like, yeah, it sounds like you're retarded. Anyway, continue.
Some groups in which, for example, 2 + 2 = 0. And you'll be online talking about group theory with your group theory friends, and here comes Karen telling you that you are absolutely wrong and it is laughable that anyone could think that 2 + 2 = 0. And if you're unable to explain in 256 characters how group theory works, then you're clearly full of shit. And then you get dogpiled and threatened by Karen's friends. If you've spent any amount of time talking about gender online, you've probably come across this.
Yeah. Just, no, forget it.
Here's what I have to say to cis lesbians who don't want to date trans women. Okay. Hey. Oh, another comment. You're not gonna tell me that I have to date trans women? Why would I do that? Because you creeps are always forcing yourselves on us like the disgusting men you are. That sounds like a waste of my time. If you don't want to date us, then you don't have to. We don't care what you do as an individual. We're just trying to have a discussion about transphobia.
More of the gaslighting. See, no, we're totally reasonable. We don't get upset if you say you don't want to date trans people. We never get upset about that. You're being crazy. Oh, by the way, if you don't date us, you're a transphobic bigot. But you don't have to. We don't expect you to. You bigot.
Phobia in lesbian spaces. All I see is a man with makeup. Only female people can be lesbian. You are a straight male. Leave lesbians alone. The way you're asserting your lesbian identity just feels like you're using your marginalized status and weaponizing it against other marginalized people. I assert my lesbian identity because I've had to fight to live in a world full of creepy men who fetishize me and tell me that I haven't found the right guy yet. Okay, same here.
God, this is painful. This is a 3-minute long video. We can't watch that.
Not at fucking all do you get to try to take my words to weaponize against the trans community. Not for a fucking second. I have no idea how long you've been following me, but it is perfectly clear that I have failed in a major way. If you ever felt like for even a minute your disgusting TERF ideology would be safe and welcome in any space that I can control. Absolutely fucking not. Not for a second. My entire argument is that it is disingenuous.
Scott, I have to say, maybe math would be the short version of it. Why take out the middle and leave the S? That makes no sense. Go back to Britain. Get out of here. Go back to the UK. This is America, damn it. We only do one kind of math here. We don't do maths. But man, this guy, this frantic soy boy going on here. He has a nice beard. He shouldn't be this way. He looks like if you grew it out, it would be a good beard. He really. This guy needs to be on testosterone. Not women who want to be men. This guy needs some extra testosterone.
disingenuous to pretend that hypothetical situations like trans people assaulting people in bathrooms are on the same level as anything that actually happens in the real world. You and your disgusting TERF ideology is a bigger existential threat to the well-being of the planet than the trans community ever could be. Abso-fucking-lutely not. Not at...
Good lord, look what the internet has done to people.
I can't fucking trust you! I don't fucking
Okay.
Speak up.
I raise funds in DC for the washing.
Why is TikTok like this? That stupid, annoying lip syncing stuff to communicate a point. It's super annoying.
Hope no one heard that. Yeah, you know, and he went to the...
She!
Oh, and you know, he went to the store. I mean, she went to the store. Right, yeah.
Hope no one heard that.
So this
Again, more gaslighting here, where this person's saying, no one freaks out when you get the pronouns wrong. You've never seen anyone freak out when they get the pronoun wrong.
So this lesbian called me a man, and then I asked for clarification. She said, did I stutter? So now we can talk about it. If you can boldly look a trans woman in the face and say she's a man, you're not queer. You're not a lesbian.
This isn't the first time that this is happening to me or any trans person.
Man, that voice was definitely unexpected.
Especially trans women on this app. LGBTQ solidarity, queer solidarity is a myth. Because as Stocksteady said, this is a white queer woman. And we all know that privileged queer people will always accept their privilege or, you know, prioritize their privilege over those who are below them. Because people always need someone to make themselves feel better, you know, to make themselves feel more worthy, if that makes sense. White queer people will always choose their whiteness, and cis queer people will always choose their cis.
I was expecting a very queer, effeminate voice. And then the voice comes out and it's like, my name is Mombombo. I am from Nigeria. I just didn't see that coming.
Cis, like, proclivity to cisness, I guess. But this is to them. I'm speaking to them. That doesn't change what you are. Because if you're trying to use this patriarchal thinking to run away from what you are and how people perceive you, it doesn't stop. You're still queer at the end of the day, whether you like it or not. Queerness is just not an identity. It's a state of mind and it's a lifestyle. And exclusivity is not a part of it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Calm down, sir. Calm down.
This is a question that was asked to the CEO of Stonewall in...
Why do they always look like some kind of approximation of this? Good lord.
The BBC Women's Hour, and I'm not happy with your answer and how she tiptoes around it. So here is my answer. Yes, J.K. Rowling is transphobic. The interviewer then goes on to ask for specific examples on Twitter where...
Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
J.K. Rowling has been transphobic, so here is one. In this tweet, J.K. Rowling promotes a transphobic Etsy shop. She has...
I'm not convinced that whatever you showed is that bad, since you only showed it for like 1 second. Okay, let's see. So she posted a t-shirt. What does it say? This witch doesn't burn. So it's just your typical leftist feminist talking points, and J.K. Rowling likes it. See, this is why this annoying person only showed this screenshot for half a second. Is because if you actually looked at it, you go, what's the big deal? It's just stupid leftist feminist mumbo jumbo. But we're supposed to believe this is a big deal. This is a big deal.
In this tweet, J.K. Rowling promotes a transphobic Etsy shop. She has chosen to buy from that Etsy shop, wear the merch, take a picture of it, post it on Twitter, and then promote and encourage her followers to buy merch from this.
Calm down, woman. You're literally describing a genocide right now. I can't hear much more of this. The bigoted hatred of buying a t-shirt on the internet and wearing it. This is literally the Holocaust. Please stop describing it in such graphic detail. I can't handle it.
This Etsy shop. This Etsy shop also sells merch that says things like repeal the GRA, trans women are men, and notorious transphobe. The woman who runs this Etsy shop is also known for saying things like transitioning is a form of rape culture aimed at lesbians, and that she wants to...
That's interesting way to put that. I would agree. But it is just a weird thing to watch the different iterations of leftism and wokeism and, you know, feminist stuff fighting with each other. It's like the different generations of it are fighting with each other. We started in a place of absolute retardation and degeneracy and have just doubled down on it over decades. And now the new people don't agree with the old people at all. It's pretty interesting to watch, honestly.
To abolish transgenderism. Let's give J.K. Rowling the benefit of the doubt and say that maybe she didn't know at the time who this activist was. But she's since been told, and she kept the tweet up. Rumors that J.K. Rowling was transphobic started before she came out as gender critical. Because of something that was called a middle-aged moment when she liked a tweet from a YouTuber who is a notorious transphobe. She has since been a vocal proponent of...
Wait, is that me? Did J.K. Rowling like one of my tweets?
that YouTuber, and that YouTuber has said things that trans women are wearing woman face and compared it to blackface. This is not only transphobic, this is also extremely racist. But J.K. Rowling isn't just transphobic and racist.
We just threw racism in there. What was racist? I missed it. What?
She's also extremely anti-Semitic, and I'm not the one saying that. Jewish activists have been saying that for decades, way before the whole trans stuff began. And that is because of her depiction of goblins in Harry Potter, both in the books and in the film, which are pretty close to anti-Semitic caricatures. So yes, J.K. Rowling is a transphobe, and she's also a racist and an anti-Semite, and overall a horrible human being.
That one's hilarious to me. It's like when people say that, you know, a picture of a gorilla, you know, you shouldn't do that. That's going to make people think of black people. And it's like, what? I didn't think of a black person. You did. In fact, you thought of it so quickly, you had to say something about it. The whole and the goblins were anti-Semitic. Really? I just thought they were goblins. I mean, that's what goblins look like. And then you said, "Oh my God, that's a Jew," and I'm the bad person. That reminds me of that time when everyone got upset on the internet because they saw in the Harry Potter movies that when they like first go to Gringotts, there's all these Star of Davids on the ground in the tiles, and everyone was like, "How anti-Semitic is that? She put Star David on the floor." And then it came out that, well, that was a real bank that they were filming in. And it really did have that on the floor. They didn't make that. That was the bank. Classic. I don't know what that says, sir.
A lot of you probably know this artist. I mean, she got a 6 point...
I definitely don't know this artist. What am I looking at? Why, God? Why? Why would you do that to your hair? How did you do that to your hair?
A lot of you probably know this artist. I mean, she got 6.1 million followers on TikTok. She got incredibly popular in the recent years when she was publishing on TikTok different sculptures she was making with her hair, and also sharing her paintings and other kinds of art. But recently she said she's a TERF. And she even said that being labeled a TERF is a badge of honor. J.K. Rowling is her queen. She posts quite a lot about her, makes her portraits out of her hair, and in general preaches radical feminism. I do understand her stance on radical feminism.
Why do you talk so slow? I can't handle this.
She doesn't know I know this trick. Hey, trans man here. I have a uterus and ovaries, the whole enchilada. I've had periods, I could still get periods, I could even get pregnant and have a baby. Am I a woman? Now remember, that is a trick question, because you see, if you say I am a woman, you need to take down that other comment saying you're not transphobic. And if you say I'm not a woman, then you agree that men can have periods, and people who aren't women can have periods. I'm guessing you didn't think that part through, did you? But Blessing is the one who sounds dumb. Sure. But that was a cute little bullshit thing you just did. Super cute.
Oh man, dude. Holy crap. Why do they think that when they use their own ass backwards logic that somehow it proves something? In the original comment, this person is saying they don't agree with you. They're saying right there, men don't experience periods. And then this beautiful woman here goes on to describe exactly that, but then somehow thinks that that he won the argument. Is that men don't experience periods. Yeah, well, you know what? I'm a woman and I have periods. Yeah, that was the point. I'm glad you were able to follow along with that.
Cisgender privilege means not having to consider being exhausted physically and emotionally from constantly having to correct people about your gender, about your pronouns, about your name when you're out in the world. This is absolutely exhausting. And if I am just female and a woman, I never have to consider or even think about how freaking exhausted my trans and non-binary counterparts might be in the world.
Exhausted, man. Just exhausted. What?
Exhausted.
Why are those relate? I don't understand. What's going on?
Cisgender privilege means not having to consider.
Oh, hey, it's this crazy lady again. Uh-oh.
Daily Mail has again chosen to publish an anti-trans piece. And as often is the case, it has nothing to do with trans people. The woman who brought this to the attention of the Daily Mail decided to...
It's quite ironic that this woman doesn't like J.K. Rowling or Harry Potter because it seems like she's trying to cosplay as Harry Potter.
to go to a Zara changing room and change in the hallway without waiting for a cubicle. And there were two cis men standing in that hallway. When I was a kid, my dad would often go clothes shopping with me, and he would wait in the hallway of the changing rooms while I was changing in the cubicles and would come out to show him the clothes. This is not something that was unthinkable years ago, it's just that years ago you wouldn't have blamed it on trans people. So TERFs are again doing something that is absolutely against gender equality by preventing dads from going clothes shopping with their daughters.
Wait, what? So not wanting trans men in the changing room means that dads can't go clothes shopping with their daughters. Huh? What? Whatever you say, Harry Potter.
My name's Scott Nugent. I'm a lesbian, and I'm a trans man. But my most important role is that of a parent.
Hey, champ, that's really interesting. Next time, keep it to yourself.
J.K. Rowling has always been a TERF, and this information has always been open to the public. In case this is new news to you, J.K. Rowling aligned herself with Maya Forrester's article. Let's talk.
So apparently J.K. Rowling owns the hashtag TERF on TikTok, the same way that that other guy, whatever the hell,
I'm going to do another.
What is that everyone was upset about on TRUSCUM? What was that stupid guy's name? Calvin something or other?
If you don't have...
You don't have to.
I'm gonna try to do this as quick as I can because I only have like a minute.
I don't remember what that... But apparently J.K. Rowling owns hashtag TERF, and then Calvin or whatever owns hashtag TRUSCUM. Is what we're finding out.
Let's talk about sex. In short, this article states that trans women are not real women, that they are harmful to women, and should not be allowed in women's oldly spaces. Defenses I've seen made for Maya and Rowling are that, well, it's their opinion. Here's the thing, though. Not only is their opinion medically and scientifically not accurate, it's also dangerous. This opinion is what gets trans women killed.
Ah, yes, the infamous trans genocide that's going on. But seriously, how are you expected to have a conversation with someone who says some dumb shit like that? Where they say, well, scientifically and medically, you're just wrong. Wait, you're telling me scientifically it's factually incorrect to say that men and women exist? I don't see this conversation going anywhere after this point.
Gendering someone in the workplace, regardless of if they're trans or cis, is creating a hostile work environment, and you can be fired for that. The rhetoric that trans women are a danger to cis women is not only statistically wildly inaccurate, but it puts trans women in danger. Legitimizing trans womanhood does not invalidate cis womanhood. Trans women are women and shouldn't have to fear for their lives because you're an idiot. J.K. Rowling has always been.
Imagine you're at home and you're walking down the hallway in your house and you hear somebody talking in the bathroom and you realize that your daughter is saying this shit in there. What in the hell are you're grounded, lady. Listen here, Missy. You're grounded. A week. Give me the phone. That is, you're speaking in tongues, woman. I'm calling a priest.
I think a lot of women have had to fight a really difficult internal battle to make peace with their own womanhood. And for some women, confronting the existence of transgender people seems to open some old wounds. Like, I've noticed in particular that some of the most virulent and
What in the hell is going on here? What? What inspired this content?
obsessive TERFs are older lesbian women on the more butch side of things. And these women see hyper-feminine trans women in makeup and dresses, and they say, that is not what being a woman is. I've had to fight for my own identity against the idea that that's what being a woman is. These are just misogynistic stereotypes. You are a parody of womanhood. You're a fetishist. And when they see trans men, they say, you're a traitor. You're a self-loather. Why can't you learn to accept yourself as a woman the way I've had to? But this is all projection and misunderstanding. Trans women do not think that wearing dresses is what makes us women. And trans...
Actually, they literally do. That's funny. Funny you should say that, because I have a video for this that, let's see, do I still have it? Yeah. What are the odds? It's funny you should say that. Let me see if I can, Oh, it's off center. Let me see here. There we go. Let's see what this trans person has to say.
Being a woman isn't all getting dressed up and doing your makeup. You're right, it's a lot of things. It's the grooves in between your fingers from walking home at night clutching your keys. It's knowing you can always ask someone for a hair tie and they'll have one on their wrist waiting for you. It's the pure joy of realizing your dress has pockets, even though this one doesn't. It's always going to the bathroom in a pack. It's playing as the female character in video games and still kicking ass. Pulling someone's hair out of the way to zip their dress or clasp their bra. It's never being afraid to use emojis, especially the pink ones. It's knowing how to tie a tie so you can always make sure your date looks handsome. It's all the little razor bumps on your legs and your arms and your face and the bottom of your stomach. It's taking off your shoes halfway through the night. It's creating literal works of art on our nails and our eyelids. It's dropping everything to help each other if we see someone else crying in public. I understand womanhood because I am a woman. And while I didn't have my first period in middle school, you don't have to fold your genitals up and put them inside yourself every day. We all have different experiences of what womanhood is, and it doesn't make any of us any less valid. So stop pretending that trans women don't understand what it's like to be real women. We all go through triumphs and tribulations as women every single day, and tearing each other down is just going to make it harder for all of us in the long run.
Yeah, okay, whatever. But I love that. I've seen tons of people say stuff like that trans women don't think that just wearing a dress is what womanhood is. But then whenever you hear another trans person talking about it, they're like, being a woman is dressing cute. But But sure. Yeah. Please continue.
As men do not think that not feeling pink, frilly, and compliant is what makes them men. I think a lot of women have had to fight a really difficult internal battle to make peace with their own womanhood. And for some women, confronting the existence of transgender people seems to open some old wounds. Like, I've noticed in particular that some of the most virulent and obsessive
And the comments are people acting like this is so much empathy. Really interesting points. I appreciate the compassion. No, nothing about this was interesting or intelligent in any way, shape, or form. It was stupid.
No! 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 No!
Mm-hmm. Well.
Brothers and sisters are natural enemies.
What's with all the Spanish?
My cat died
Whoa.
today. Get a new one. You got money cause you on dicks. Millie got millies cause Millie got hits.
I really don't like this guy.
Hey, what would you call it if you sent J.K. Rowling into space? AstroTurf. Goodbye.
Hey, what would you call it if J.K. Rowling got cloned and then they got in a fight? Turf wars. Goodbye.
Hey.
This is comedy. This is comedy. Though there was one, I can't remember which video it was, but there was a comment on it that said, what was it? A TERF, a transphobe, and an anti-Semite walk into a bar. And the bartender says, "Didn't you write the Harry Potter books?" I thought that one was actually kind of funny. I think we have our contestants for the night. I think we've gone through enough of these. So let's see here. Let's start with, oh God, our friend Andy, contestant number 1. It says, so this is Andy with 34.7 thousand followers. And the profile says, pretty boy, king trender Satanist, 27 years old and married. And some Black Lives Matter stuff. So you know it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one.
This is a hard decision, but because TikTok has been found to be unsafe, I'll be deleting this app off my phone.
Oh no, Andy, don't do it.
Now, but feel free to follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Tumblr.
TikTok has been found to be unsafe.
So this is what I looked like when I got my top surgery.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, not bad, right?
Oh, God.
What's the point of living if I don't know?
Let's go in the... What video game character am I?
God.
Right. Well, we'll do this again, okay? Okay, we're together.
That is got to be the worst nose rings I've ever seen. And is Andy married to a man or a woman? Oh, I'm gonna say that's a very fat man. But I wonder, did Andy transition to being a male, quote unquote, before or after they got married? Because this fat dude over here was probably stoked. He's like, I didn't think I was ever going to be able to get laid. And then he finds this woman, and then the woman says, actually, I'm a dude.
All right, what's our next date gonna
Quit
be?
showing your chest.
Parent number 1, let's go. I stitched this, roasting this guy. Where the fuck did it go?
Now introducing men! We can't get pregnant!
He's right, though.
Now introduce...
So while I was cleaning, I found my Naruto figurines, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not Naruto, what the fuck is that?
All right, I hate this, and I hate you. You're no longer a contestant, Andy. I'm cutting you. You're off the list.
if I broke into your house?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is question why you, an omnipotent being, needed to break in the first place. And then I'm going to ask you to get working on this.
What? Ah, jeez. So this is Queer Wino. 39.7 thousand followers. Ugh, good lord.
I'm just sitting here drinking my wine and realizing that the LGBTQ community might be about to come for me because I have an unpopular opinion. Actually, I think it might be a controversial opinion, but I just have to speak my mind. So...
Oh my god, this person is disgusting and annoying.
I hope you all will hear me out. And before we get to that, for me, it's a no-bones day because it's rainy as fuck and I can't stand it. Okay, so like...
What?
I think that Dave Chappelle's trans jokes are not funny and are completely inappropriate, but I also think that he's getting way more blowback than other comedians have gotten because he's black. I just think there's a little racism involved, just a little bit, because when Louis C.K. made really unfunny non-binary jokes and exposed himself to people, he wasn't canceled at this level. And white liberals did not come for him in the same way. Just saying. I'm just sitting here...
Man.
Drinking my wine. Have you all ever seen a family where you were just like, damn, that bloodline should have been eliminated in some kind of clan war? Like that much? Intermarry Breedy should have never been allowed to leave Europe. Now, I'm not saying I was thinking that, but have you...
Wait. The irony that a dude who looks like this is complaining about inbreeding from a century ago. I'm just going to leave that one where it is. This guy in the comments, your hair is receding and head is shaped like a can of tomato soup. Well done.
Timothée Chalamet. Timothée Chalamet. Unpopular opinion. I'm not feeling your Paul Atreides, bro.
I have no idea what that video is about.
This is a new series called How Are You Gonna Fucking Annoy Me? A service worker about masks today. Number 1. Oh, I didn't know that we had to wear masks. Okay, in this area, masks have been required for about 1.5 years with one brief break, so...
Who says 1.5 years? This guy is just weird in every possible way. Who says 1.5 years? I mean, you can write it down like that, but you read it as 1.5 years. I know this is just a does it really matter kind of thing, but yes, I think it does. I think, in fact, it does matter.
You're not confused. 2. Oh, I have to put it on when I enter, but I could take it off when I eat? Again, it's been this way for 1.5 years. Stop arguing with me. I don't give a shit. Just do it. It's not new. Like, comment, and share for part 2, and let me know if you want to hear more.
I definitely do not want to hear any more of this, William. Oh,
Hi,
God.
I'm Will, and I've changed my handle to Assigned Wine at Birth because I'm a queer person who likes to talk about wine. So if you want to learn about wine with me, and you don't already follow me, hit the plus. If you do follow me...
Man, it is just grating on the ears when people talk like this. That, like, fake soft voice thing. God, and it's creepy as hell.
Leave your wine questions in the comments so I can answer them and share this post.
Oh, Lord.
Hi.
Oh, God, and that first shot. Oh, look at that. That is brutal. All right, Catherine in with the first super chat. Thank you very much. Let's see what the super chat jukebox has in store. God, we needed a break from William.
I hate to disappoint conservative Twitter, but I am going to circle back on a number of things, as we often do directly. I'll circle back, circle back. I hate to disappoint you. Circle back, circle back. That's an excellent question. Circle back, circle back. I hate to disappoint you, but we will venture to circle back with all of you.
Classic. Classic. Circle back. Circle back, Saki.
When a man loves a woman, she becomes his weakness. When a woman truly loves a man, he becomes her strength. That is called an exchange of power.
I have no idea what we just watched. Isn't that the same one as the
What are you gonna do if
the
I
first
broke
one?
into your house?
Get working on this and hurry up. I need wine immediately, or I'm gonna call the cops on you, bro.
Oh man, the cringe. It's so cringe.
No. You don't have to prioritize a man to have a good... What the fuck is this sound? I'm gonna turn the volume way...
This guy, it's like an alien trying to act like a human being. It's like he doesn't know what it's like to be a real person. So there's just something not natural about this at all.
Stitch or duet this with something that you like to eat that other people tell you is weird. I'll go first. I like oatmeal with gochujang, which is Korean fermented soybean and chili paste, and it's delicious. It's salty, sweet, savory, and spicy, and it's good in rice, so why not oatmeal? Stitcher.
Wow, what in the hell? William, you are freaking me out, dude.
Duet this. So, you want to impose what you think your God wants you to do or believe on everybody else, but this is the hill you die on? This.
I don't really get his point, but okay.
What do you all think of Brittany finally being freed from her dad? I know I'm late to talk about this, but fuck that dude. Fuck that dude so much for doing that to her. I hope she fucking sues him for the millions that he stole from her.
I mean, doesn't this guy just seem fake? This is totally... This is a guy in an Edgar suit, like from Men in Black. He's in an Edgar suit. And I like the first comment on this video. You're so strange. Oh. None of these videos have sound. What's up, bro?
I think sometimes numbers are always, nothing is always fully accurate, but it...
Dude. Oh, hi, Jake. What are you doing here? Dude.
I think sometimes numbers are always, nothing is always fully accurate.
I made reverse sear steak and paired it with tuna.
It's wine time! This rich and earthy wine has black pepper, crushed raspberries, and black cherries. If that sounds good to you, try a Chinon, which is a Cab Franc from the Loire Valley in France. Follow me for more wine. It's wine.
God, this is just creepy as hell. I don't even know what to say about this. I think that's what we're voting on tonight is the creepiest TikToker we can find. So far, William is number one. What?
Hey, if you're queer, can you blind react this, please? I mean blind, I want your real, honest-to-God reaction. So hit duet or use the sound now. I'll give you a second. Did you do it? Did you do it? Did you do it? Okay, hi. Okay, blind reaction. Are you ready?
What the fuck?
Let's take a deep breath together. Ready? You're gonna be okay. I love you.
What the fuck?
Hey,
What the fuck? What the hell?
Against your best man, you gon' lose your best hitter. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Against your
All right, William, I can't do this. That is... Damn it, William. All right, contestant number 2. Anna Marie. Oh, God. It is just really bizarre to know that people like this exist in the world.
I want to lay claim to the dark power of my monstrous identity without using it as a weapon against others or being wounded by it myself. I will say this as bluntly as I know how. I am a transsexual, and therefore, I am a monster. Just as the words dyke, fag, queer, slut, and whore have been reclaimed respectively by lesbians and gay men, by anti-assimilationist sexual minorities, by working women who pursue
What the
pleasure,
fuck
and
is
by
going on?
sex industry workers. Words like creature, monsters, and unnatural need to be reclaimed by the transgendered. By embracing and accepting them, even piling them one on top of the other, we may dispel their ability to harm us. A creature, after all, in the dominant tradition of Western European culture, is nothing more than a created being, a made thing. The affront you humans take at being called a creature results from the threat the term poses to your status as lords of creation, being elevated above mere material existence. As in the case of being called it, being called a creature suggests the lack or loss of a superior...
Oh my God. I hate to tell you this. We're not even halfway through this video. Jeez. And we're going to do it, man. We're going to finish this. God. This is... pseudo-intellectual garbage.
superior personhood. I feel no shame, however, in acknowledging
Opining
my
on
egalitarian
nonsense.
relationship with non-human natural being. Everything emerges from the same matrix of possibilities. Monster is derived from the Latin noun monstrum, divine portent, itself formed of the root of the verb monere, to warn. It came to refer to living beings of anomalous shape or structure, or to fabulous structures like the Sphinx, who were composed of strikingly incongruous parts because the ancients considered the appearance of such beings to be a sign of some impending
God, this is
supernatural
painful.
event. Monsters,
This reminds me of my time in
functioned
college.
as messengers and heralds of the extraordinary. They served to announce impending revelation, saying, in effect, "Pay attention. Something of profound importance is happening. Hearken unto me, fellow creatures, I who have dwelt in a form unmatched with my desire, I whose flesh has become an assemblage of incongruous anatomical parts, I who achieved the similitude of a natural body only through an unnatural process. I offer you this warning. The nature you bedevil me with is a lie. Do not trust it to protect you from what I represent, for it is a fabrication that cloaks the groundedness of the privilege you seek to maintain for yourself at my expense. You are constructed as me. The same anarchic womb has birthed us both. I call upon you to investigate your nature as I have been compelled to confront mine. I challenge you to risk objection and flourish as well as have I. Heed my words, and you may well discover the seams and sutures in yourself.
Well, that was god awful. So it says, so wild that this essay turns 30 this year. If you can, please read the whole thing. Trans history is so important. Trans Day of Visibility, blah, blah, blah. I gotta tell you, Anna Marie, I don't think I'm gonna be reading this essay.
These leaked emails tell us everything we need to know about the anti-trans movement. A few weeks ago, 2,600 pages of emails between American lawmakers and anti-trans hate groups were leaked by...
Look at this thing in the background here. How lazy. Let's get our amazing technology going here. Here, watch. Look at what? Stop trans genocide, just written like with a pencil or a pen and just thrown up on the wall. They didn't even try to make it artistic or anything. And it looks like it was made by like a 6th grader. I need to know the story behind this.
Former D-trans grifter Eliza Ray Shoup. In an email chain dating between 2019 and 2021, lawmakers and professional bigots brainstormed and executed a plan to introduce the huge influx of anti-trans bills that we're seeing today. There's a great...
Wait a minute. You can be a professional bigot? Damn. I do this shit for free. Come on.
Mother Jones article about all of this, but here are my main takeaways from what I've seen of the...
Don't forget, every time you send a super chat, it gets me on my way to being categorized as a professional bigot. I'm going to turn pro one of these days, and you can help make it happen.
Email chain, at least the one that I could fit in a short form video. Number one, if you take one thing away from the story, let it be this. The anti-trans bills we're seeing now didn't emerge organically from grassroots activists. They came from a very small and incredibly hateful minority. Many of them with innocuous-sounding names like the American College of Pediatricians. Much in the same way that crisis pregnancy centers appear on the surface to be healthcare providers like Planned Parenthood, but are actually...
I have not even been paying attention to this at all. But you know, how much you want to bet that this person here and William... They send each other messages and emails saying how beautiful... Girl, you're so beautiful. Good job. I don't know. I just for some reason that popped into my head. You know, where you see like in the comments they're complimenting each other or something, talking about, "Wow, girl, you're gorgeous."
Actually, fronts for religious organizations strategically designed to prevent people from having abortions, the American College of Pediatrics and the Alliance Defending Freedom are agenda-heavy, homophobic hate groups whose sole purpose is to push anti-trans and anti-choice legislation. These bills don't come from concerned citizens. In fact, the general American public doesn't even want them. But politicians aren't actually responsible to their constituents, you know, like in a democracy. They're in the pockets of their donors and the extremist hate groups that they're all buddy-buddy with. Yes, these groups are relying on the ignorance of the general public to pass these bills, but the biggest threat
Oh, God, I just looked at how long this video is. We are not finishing this. We had to sit through that monster rant, and this video is like... this video is almost 8 minutes long. The monster video was only what?
I want to lay claim.
3 minutes. Did this feel like 3 minutes? No. It felt like 20 to 30 minutes.
These leaked emails.
This is more than double the length. Good Lord.
Here are 3 things that cis allies can do for Trans Day of Visibility. Number 1, give us money.
I better write this down.
Of the trans
That was unexpected. I'm sorry. Here's what you can do to be an ally. Give us money. Wow. Fantastic. I couldn't agree more.
If
people don't have access to the basic medical care that we need. Luckily, the incredible creators Mercury Stardust and Jory are hosting a charity live stream starting March 30th at 5 p.m. It's a big live stream to raise money for trans healthcare, and they're hoping to raise $1 million. Go give to that, and if you happen to be watching this video after the stream is over, the resource link in my bio has a donation link to several funds year-round. Number 2, get loud. There are marches happening all over this country for trans rights and trans visibility this weekend. From the big one happening in DC to more local ones, you can hit the streets, meet like-minded folks, and show your support.
Damn, there's one in every state. I thought I was going to see what state I needed to move to, but that's a bummer. That is a bummer. Yep. Every single damn state. Son of a bitch. Even in Alaska and Hawaii. Fuck off with that. No, wait. I was wrong. Look. We got 2. Two states. That's what you need to move to. I actually wouldn't mind living in either of those states. That'd be pretty sweet, actually. I mean, Tennessee's not bad. I like it, for sure, but... All right, it's not as bad as I thought. I thought they had every state. At least they've got... There's 2 states that don't have them. Man. I'm sure they'll get their hands on them anytime now.
Like wearing non-identifiable clothing, to knowing your rights when interacting with police, and if applicable, leveraging your white privilege to protect non-white protesters.
All right, Vic. Thank you, sir. Yep, that's how you... If you want to be an ally, don't forget. Step 1.
Have access to the basic medical care that we need.
Step 1 is...
Here are 3 things that cis allies can do for Trans Day of Visibility. Number 1, give us money.
Boom. Number 1, done. Super chat jukebox.
America, America, America. Dude, you understand? America, America, America. My point is America's first. America, America, America. What the hell, man? Globalists, no. Goblins, no. This is it.
Fantastic. I don't think that one has ever played before. A new Alex Jones one. Dude, that is an absolute banger of a track. All right, let's see. We were at Get Loud. Okay.
This country for trans rights and trans visibility this weekend. From the big one happening in DC to more local ones, you can hit the streets, meet like-minded folks, and show your support. Just be wary of general protest tips like wearing non-identifiable clothing, to knowing your rights when interacting with police, and if applicable, leveraging your white privilege to protect non-white protesters. Go with a group of friends and stay safe out there. If going to a big protest isn't for you, you can...
And they wonder why some people view all of these protests as just basically being on the verge of being a riot. They wonder why people categorize them as that, yet the advice that they give is to wear non-identifiable clothing so that you can't be identified when you get violent. It's the express purpose of the event.
And show your support for trans people wherever you already are. Start a conversation at your workplace about their pronoun policies, or starting an LGBTQ employee resource group. Go to your local town hall or state legislature and voice your support for trans people. Ask your local school board what they're doing to protect and celebrate trans kids. It will definitely help to get a sense of who's already doing the work in your area. Our strength is in numbers, and the revolution will not be won with fractured, redundant work. Looking for Facebook groups or Googling phrases like Your State Transgender Coalition will get you 50% of the way there. I also have plenty of content about how to mentor and support trans people, just saying. And number 3, show us some love. This one you can do all year round. If you have trans people in your life, give them a hug, make them some soup, take them out and buy them a coffee. Tell them that everything is going to be okay, that they matter, and that they're loved. We really need to hear this more often. Understand that with all that we go...
Well, then you're an idiot. If you need constant affirmation by everyone around you, you're a weak, pathetic man. Get it together.
Go through, it is a blessing to receive the love of a trans person. If you are lucky enough to be loved by a trans person, make sure you match that energy tenfold. At first glance, this might not seem as material as other forms of pro-trans advocacy, like making sure a bill doesn't get passed, but the best antidote to far-right ideology is community building. Fight hate with love, man. As important as it is to have a government that doesn't actively want to crush us, it's even more important that we build support structures outside of the state. That way, if the other shoe drops and a Republican does end up coming into power, we'll have each other to rely on. And if we have that, we'll be unfuckwithable. Happy Trans Day of Visibility and happy learning.
Good Lord. These people.
1 year later.
Wow, that video is a year old today. My highest performing video ever, and of course it's the nicest, most assimilationist possible take I could have put out. Ooh, cis women, pretty please won't you accept us? We have so much in common, you see. A year later, I still uphold that cis women and trans women should be collaborators and have more in common than we do differently. Though I do slightly resent having my most viewed video be one that tacitly endorsed the notion that trans women can or should be exactly like cis women. Here's the thing. Cis women's role in society is oppressive, obviously, and that sucks. But at least they have a role. Currently, society wants trans people gone, eradicated, wiped from existence. Cis women have it tough, to be sure, but nobody's trying to claim that cis women don't exist. So under this context, cis and trans women...
It drives me insane how these people don't understand. You know, when they talk about they don't exist. They actually believe that when someone says transgender isn't a thing, they think that they mean that, like, the physical person who says they're trans doesn't exist. No, I know that you're a human being who says you're the opposite sex. I'm aware. I can see that. That's not real, though. But you don't even exist. You're totally misunderstanding what that means.
Women are judged under completely different standards. I'm just gonna break out the chart I made last year again. Feel free to pause to read. I'll sign off by sharing that I am a very, very happy trans woman who has forged her own role for herself as a queer and trans STEM educator, and I get to spend every day creating new...
Is anyone surprised that this is a teacher? Anyone? They're always teachers.
Opportunities for younger queer and trans people in STEM. Community is life, and everything I do is for the trans kids. Speaking of which, I'm off to go to a queer hip-hop show at a trans-owned bar, but feel free to stay right here and enjoy being an exclusionist. Happy learning. Hi.
I didn't really understand any of that.
The worst thing about the right's groomer rhetoric is that it's actually helping groomers. Here's how. Setting aside the fact that conservative culture indoctrinates kids into all sorts of harmful behaviors and ideologies, and the fact that many, many prominent Republicans have been convicted of things involving children, the proliferation of the idea that trans people are somehow grooming kids is itself creating the conditions for queer and trans kids to be abused, and not by LGBTQ people. When you start to transition in a transphobic society, so many aspects of your life get turned upside down overnight. Especially when you first start hormones. It's literally a second puberty. Remember how vulnerable you were when you were an emotional teenager? I didn't start...
Oh, man. Such a transphobic society. I never hear about trans people or their rights or whatever, ever. It's just, I mean, you turn on the TV, look at the news, it's nothing but saying that, trans people are evil, we need to get rid of them. That's all you ever hear. You very rarely ever hear pro-trans ideas. It's interesting how these people always act as if they're being discriminated against and that society at large is transphobic. Well, where the fuck do you live? Because that's where I need to move to. Well, I don't know what society you're living in because it's not the one I'm living in. Whoa, it's so, everything's so bad and hateful and well, you tell me where that is. and I'll move there.
Start my transition until I was 22. I had a good head on my shoulders, I was in a STEM PhD program, and I'm a beneficiary of white and able-bodied privilege. And I was still a nervous wreck earlier on in my transition. I got into riskier situations than I would have been in if I was cis, and I even ended up in a relationship or two with people who took advantage of my vulnerable, malleable state. That's why it's so important to have a strong support system. It takes a community of people to keep you safe. That's why my community fights so hard to educate parents, teachers, doctors.
Yeah, I guess you could rely on a community, or you could just get a gun. That keeps you safe.
And everyday people about the Trans 101. And it's why LGBTQ community events are so important. The more people who are on your side, the less likely we are to come into harm's way, especially when we're young. Unfortunately, Republicans are trying to get parents, teachers, etc. to turn against their own children, which is putting them into harm's way. Groomers and abusers usually don't go after the popular kid, right? They usually don't.
Yeah, I forgot that was even the point of this video was to talk about groomer rhetoric. We got so far off the beaten path, I just didn't even know what we were talking about anymore.
Don't go for the mayor's kid or people with connections to a lot of power or clout in their communities. They usually go after the people who can't fight back. They usually go after people who physically can't escape, those who they can trick into believing that a relationship with an adult is okay, those who they can provide things for that their parents won't get them, and those who would be shamed, not believed, or not cared about if their community members ever found out what was happening. That's why child abusers are so often police officers, pastors, or even the kid's own parents. It's not the stranger in a trench coat, it's usually the people with power in their communities. That's part of it. When the right calls queer people groomers and we respond by asking, what about pastors? That's not a deflection or a distraction or whataboutism. It's just...
Well... it literally is whataboutism. You just said it. So when we say what about pastors, it's not whataboutism. Well, that's just factually incorrect.
Who is actually grooming queer kids? We are describing the problem more accurately. What I and other trans people are fighting for is a world where parents, teachers, and other community members can accept their queer kids and protect them from the actual threats to their lives. What Republicans are fighting for is a world where parents, teachers, and other community members reject their LGBTQ kids, which will inevitably lead them into the arms of people who are going to manipulate them. What I'm fighting for is a world where if a kid wants to transition, they could see doctors and mental health professionals who can build relationships with them.
Oh, geez, Anna Marie, you're driving me nuts.
No, I'm just kidding, that's not true. But imagine if it was. What if a scientific study came out tomorrow that demonstrated a statistically significant link between asparagus consumption and having an offspring who identifies as an LGBTQIA person? Just for a moment, suspend disbelief and pretend that for whatever biochemical reason, the more asparagus you eat, the more likely your kid is going to be trans. It would explain all the Western mass queers. In that scenario, what do you think would happen? Maybe in some other reality, it would be a chance for a nationwide conversation about why we let biology have so much influence over our lives. We could collectively recognize the absurd nature of existence, the fact that we're all just meat machines running off biochemistry and vibes. We could hold hands and embrace...
God, imagine having this person as a teacher. Good Lord.
The cosmic perspective that we are all one.
Oh my God. Okay, we can't watch this. This video is 10 minutes long. I didn't know you could post videos this long on TikTok.
The same DNA, and we could laugh at how silly it is that we arbitrarily place ourselves into categories based on skin color and endocrine system composition. It would be nice. Unfortunately, we don't live in that reality. You would probably see a Tucker Carlson segment all about how asparagus makes you trans. Facebook posts urging parents to avoid the devil's green bean, and accusations of grooming for those defiantly cooking the vegetable unnamed. Genocidal maniacs claiming, aha, proof that being trans is a mental illness, and calling for a swift ban on all asparagus growth in the United States. Now that might sound crazy to some of you, but if, like me...
But that would be completely justified in the world that you've set up. You said that in this world, it does cause transgenderism. So how could it be wrong to say that well, let's not do that? I'm not getting the point of this.
You're an unwilling participant in the modern infrastructure of transphobic hate we call the media. then you know that's exactly what would happen. And that was just a silly example that I made up to demonstrate the absurd and violent nature of our modern politics. But let's say it was a different study. What if the supposed source of transness was somehow found to be thyroid medication, artificial breast milk, natural breast milk, birth control, certain kinds of abortion pill? I'll tell you what, if there'd be blood in the streets. To be perfectly clear, no link has been found between any of these things and human sexuality or gender identity.
What
I could
the
easily
fuck
see a
are
study
you
coming
talking
out in some
about, dude?
low-impact journal trying to connect LGBTQ identity with one of these drugs. The study wouldn't even necessarily need to be biochemical in nature. Maybe some confounding variable exists, like liberal women being more likely to take birth control for a few years before having a kid, and the kids of that mother being more likely to come out, as opposed to conservative mothers who resign themselves to their fate as being breeding stock from an early age, and their kids being less likely to come out to them because...
Imagine talking like this about people and thinking that you aren't the bigot. This dude just called conservative women breeding stock. And he thinks that he's in the right here. What?
They're conservative. That data would suggest that there's some sort of link between taking birth control and having queer kids, even though correlation does not equal causation. I can see it now. Headlines reading, "Birth control makes your kids gay." A whole new wave of gay panic followed by a swift ban on all products containing estrogen, progesterone, and screw it, why not Plan B too, just to be safe. Trans women left unable to get hormones, people assigned female at birth being unable to prevent pregnancy and slipping back to a pre-1800s societal status. All because of that same transphobic right-wing media infrastructure that profits off division and appeals to fascism. Western science has been the justification for bigotry for as long as it's existed.
What the fuck is this video about? I have no idea what's being talked about. I mean, what was the point of that?
Here in America, biologists invented race science to justify the mental superiority of white people, the physical superiority of black people, and the savagery of indigenous people to justify enslaving and killing the latter. They also made up concepts like hysteria to claim that men were stronger and more logical and thus should be able to own property and land, and women were weaker and more emotional and thus were perfect for homemaking and child rearing. For white women, that is. Black women weren't characterized as weak or demure. They were characterized as masculine and hypersexual so that they could stay in the field and be treated as breeding stock. Remember when this video was about asparagus? And for years now, people have been trying to find a why for queer people. In the 90s, it was trying to...
What the hell is this video about? I really don't understand what any of this... what is going on? I will watch a little bit more and see if I can figure out what the hell is going on.
To find the gay gene. Today, it's trying to use brain scans to say that trans people are the gender they say they are. Do you really think people were trying to find a gay gene just out of scientific curiosity? Of course not. They were trying to find a way to eradicate queerness. The pursuit of a why for queer people is the pursuit of a method to destroy queer people. It's fascism dressed in a lab coat. So am I here to tell you to stop asking questions and blindly accept trans ideology? Not at all. I have a PhD in chemical engineering, which I will not shut up about. I value rational thought and legitimate scientific inquiry. I spent 4 years trying to figure out how to get nanoparticles from being pointed like this to being pointed like this. Anyone who thinks that critical thinking or using the scientific method means investigating every possible line of inquiry and following the science wherever it leads has clearly never spent time in a research lab. Rational thought isn't just investigating every possible rational thought you can have. It requires discernment and refinement and experience. It involves knowing how to ask good questions. I once spent 5 months trying to use UV-sensitive dye to figure out why my nanoparticles weren't being oriented correctly, only to find out that it was the dye that was messing up my process all along. It was a line of inquiry that was time-consuming, messy, and...
Okay, it's been 5 minutes, which means we're halfway through this video. I have not found a direction for this video. What is this video about? Let's see if we can learn something from the comments. How to ask better questions about trans people. Hashtag asparagus. As a biostatistician, I dread the idea of such a study ever being published. This is an excellent video. Thank you for this. It really gives me hope for some reason. At least someone's being honest. Even this person's saying, I have no idea what this video is about, but I generally agree with your ideology, so it makes me feel good. If it did, I'd be trans. Love asparagus, love my trans friends and family. So no one seems to know what this video is about. Great humor in the middle of tough education. I would like someone to give a summary of this video. I doubt anyone actually could. They don't actually know what this video is about.
Hello and welcome to a corrections video. A few weeks ago I made a video all about Tide Pods and why they suck. But I got a couple small things wrong in that video, and as a scientist I can't help but correct myself. I think any good scientist or engineer...
God, this video is 5 minutes long too. This person does not understand the point of TikTok.
Being a trans chemical engineer is wild because I get two very different forms of feedback on my videos. Check this out. Do not call me cis. I was born before the term was invented. I'm going to start giving the same respect to everyone who calls me cis. I'm done. Very informative. I'm going to see if I can get detergent sheets. Just two wildly different levels of respect for my work and my craft. Anyway, here's an example of the German iteration of cisgender being used all the way back in 1914. Although it's honestly not very surprising that you haven't heard of this before, considering that the very first thing that the Nazis did when they got into power was burn all the research that portrayed trans people in a sympathetic light. It is not some wild coincidence that we're seeing a rise in anti-Semitism, a rise in transphobia, and book bans all at the same time.
Anna, I can't take it. I can't. Oh, man. All right, on to the final contestant. For the most annoying cringe person of TikTok Tuesday. I think this guy's going to be bad. It's that guy, Ben Silver, the guy that has the beard that was halfway decent, but he was rambling like a psychotic crackhead on the streets of New York. Let's see what we got, buddy.
Peace and nonviolence are not a promise. They are a treaty, part of our social contract. And if you violate the terms of our treaty no longer applies to you or protects you. That is the paradox of tolerance, that in order to construct a tolerant society, we necessarily cannot tolerate one thing, intolerance, because allowed to run amok unchallenged, it will cannibalize and consume the entire system. If you attack someone for being gay or trans or whatever, and that person defends themselves against you with incredible violence, those are not the same thing. One of them is an immune response. It is the system protecting itself because the system has a right to preserve itself in the same way that if I discover I have cancer, I'm going to burn the cancerous cells right the fuck out of my body, even though I'm generally in favor of life, because those cells have decided to attack the system. Being a fascist or a bigot or a Nazi or whatever, those are acts of violence in and of themselves. And so those people...
Wow, this guy's out here literally just justifying violence. You don't even have to do anything. You just have to be labeled one of those bigoted Nazi transphobes and violence against you is justified. Wow. This guy, who looks like he's never been in a fight in his life, is out here justifying violence.
People need to be burned out.
I wonder if, by his own logic, if I was to actually see this person in real life, after having watched this video, and I just shoot him right then and there as soon as I see him, would that be justified? Because he just described how he could justify violence against me. So wouldn't me shooting him as soon as I saw him be me protecting the system? I mean, would he be okay with that? If I just, as soon as I saw him in real life, I'd be like, oh, it's that fag. And I just blew him away.
So y'all don't get to say anything when this face walks into a woman's restroom in Kansas.
Y'all don't get to say anything when this fist meets your face. Because if you walk into a bathroom with my daughters, I'm going to walk in right behind you. Have a nice day.
Wow, Jimmy Peterson, you know, I kind of agree. If more men would just beat the shit out of sexual predators, maybe someone would have been able to stop you from raping your 17-year-old babysitter. So I guess you know what you're talking about. You're kind of an expert on the sexual violence that young women face.
Damn. Who knows if that's true, but damn.
No thanks, but you can tell Jesus if he wants to come soon, he can come straight to my face, okay? And if he bothers to show up, I will drop to my knees, I will receive him into me, and I will exclaim, "Oh God," and I will turn the other cheek, just like he wanted. No thanks, but you can tell Jesus if he wants to come.
It's always about sex with these people. Jesus Christ, that's loud.
I hate when you're eating out.
I don't.
Man, I hate this guy.
So I have a question for the people who buy the verification on Instagram. Now what?
Wow, Chris, you of all people I thought would support a system that makes you provide a government ID to get verified because, you know, why waste your time sliding into the DMs of somebody who has a blue check when that blue check means that they're probably old enough to vote?
Who's that guy? I have no idea who that guy is.
I know so many people who have died absolutely preventable deaths because they just didn't have access to basic resources or medical care. And there were so many assholes in power who deserve to die.
I find this claim highly suspect. Highly suspect. He knows so many people. Highly suspect.
So much more than they did. These motherfuckers profiteer on our suffering. We have enough food to feed everybody. We have enough roofs to give everybody shelter.
Oh, this guy. What an idiot. He's one of these people.
Everybody medical care. These motherfuckers profiteer on our suffering. They are complicit. They are actively murdering people. We don't have... It doesn't have to be like that.
What a loser. Thanks for that.
Check. Litipulate. To hide oneself in a corner.
Oh my gosh, what a magnificent word, litipulate. It is the verb form of latibule, which means hidden place or corner. It goes all the way back to at least the 1600s. It comes to us from the Latin root meaning hidden, which is also where we get the word latent, like hidden abilities.
Vocab check.
What the hell?
Hey, so what if instead of being transphobic, you took all of that same energy and fell down a flight of stairs?
Oh,
hey,
wow.
so what if...
Just because you don't understand what I do does not mean that it's a scam.
No, of course not. Lots of jobs are hard to explain. What makes this a scam is the part where you rip people off. But let's ignore for a second that your profile is nothing but red flags and take a look at your website. MakeMoneyWithBecca.com. And if you're following along at home, use a private browser. Okay, right off the bat, you're selling something related to digital marketing and advertising, but your website looks like it was made in Notepad and the only design element is a bunch of scary all caps words like legit. Even if this isn't a scam, you're real bad at what you do, and I wouldn't buy digital marketing goods and services from you any more than I would buy plastic surgery from...
God, this guy's so annoying, but I just noticed... the stupid lip rings have been driving me crazy, so it took me a while. I just now noticed, look at his ears, man. Both ears have 1, 2, 3, 4 rings on them. Yeah, there's the other one. God, if I saw this guy at a party, I would do everything in my power to stay as far away from him as possible.
Try listening to DNB as if I don't know who the Dave Matthews Band is. Like, everybody remembers that one song from the mid-2000s or whatever, but I haven't really followed them since they, dumped their tour bus worth of poop off of a bridge onto a boatload of people.
What? DNB? Wouldn't Dave Matthews Band be DMB? I think this guy missed... I have no idea what's going on. Hey, this video has no sound.
She's a redhead with the last name O'Neill. How could she not be white?
White America would never accept a black O'Neill.
I'm Shaq. I wake up cool.
Eye contact
Oh, no, thank you. I'm autistic.
is a little tricky when you're blind.
Wait. An alliance? For far too long, the blind and the autistic, we have lived under the tyrannical shadow of eye contact, shackled to social norms imposed by neurotypical people and sighted people. But together, if we came together, we could usher in a new era of interpersonal communication.
Is it masking? Yes.
Yeah.
Eye contact.
Dude, this guy's annoying as
Today's
hell.
St. Patrick's Day, and a lot of people are going to be saying things like, kiss me, I'm Irish, and you should be suspicious. This is what an Irish passport looks like, and you should ask for verification. Why are the Democrats so goddamn determined to lose elections? Like, you finally just started learning how to win them. You are only at the beginning of grasping how to communicate with young voters on social media, and you're just going to go propose a TikTok ban right now for what? There's no functional reason or advantage to it. There's no data that TikTok is skimming from your phone that the Chinese government can't get anywhere else, and it's not like they're scraping any data that the U.S. government isn't.
Wait, his argument to not ban TikTok is that they could get that information in other places too? So the argument is that they are stealing your data, but who cares? That's your argument?
Harvesting either. Like,
God, and of course his nipples are pierced. Gross.
There is no functional advantage to doing this. You are just going to alienate the people that you need most. You are going to cement the idea that you're a bunch of stodgy old idiots, which you are, you dusty fucks. I want to live in a world that continues to exist, and for that to happen, we need to, like, win elections and actually accomplish things that are worth accomplishing. This is not it, fucking Joe Biden. Why are the Democrats so goddamn... There are dogs on TikTok that routinely have higher viewership numbers than Fox News does. Being the most watched channel on network television doesn't mean anything when you stop to remember for the briefest second that, oh yeah, newsflash, nobody watches cable anymore. The kind of person that still remains there is disproportionately likely to be the same sort of crusty old boomer that makes up both Fox's core and near exclusive demographic. The reason that CNN and MSNBC don't add up or compare there is that the kind of person that will get their news...
Oh man, this guy is tiresome. So tiresome.
From not Fox is the kind of person that will get their news from multiple places that aren't Fox News. Having just a single centralized news source controlled by a single entity that is repeatedly caught on camera and admitting in the court of law that their viewership is stupid and gullible. That's not the free thinker flex that y'all seem to think it is. There are
Dude, this guy is just a pain in the ass. I can't do it. Can't do it. And Ben, you're not involved in this. I think we need to find a different third for this. He's annoying, but he doesn't quite fit the same category as Anna Marie and William here. Let's see if we can find one more contestant.
I heard. I'm gonna try to do this as quick as I can because I only.
You don't have to have dysphoria to be trans.
If you don't have so I'm what is happy. While I appreciate discourse and
We're back at the beginning of this hashtag. That's annoying. Surely there's got to be some other good ones that could rival Anna and William. It's amazing how many of these people look the same. It's really weird. None of them look quite as sickly as William and Anna. Oh, don't tell me that's the end of the TRUSCUM hashtag. That ain't right. All right, let's jump back in.
Even old New York was once New Amsterdam.
So, thought experiment time for Transmed and TRUSCUM. So, this is a fact, I'm getting top surgery in 50 days. Let's say my surgeon does 2 surgeries a day, so before my surgery...
Bro, you could just work out. Get rid of those boobies. Oh, no, wait, I think this is actually a woman. So, yeah, okay, yeah, it says female to male. Sorry.
Surgery,
But you still should work out, though. You should probably work out.
100. Let's say big number, 20% of the trans community is non-dysphoric and a trender. And since they're non-dysphoric, let's say only half of them want to have surgery. So that's 10% non-dysphoric and wanting surgery. And so if we bring that back to my surgeon, 10 of those surgeries out of those 100 would be for non-dysphoric trans people. 10 surgeries, 2 a day, that's 5 days of doing surgery for non-dysphoric trans people. But if things went your way and non-dysphoric trans people weren't allowed to have surgery, then I'd be having my surgery 5 days earlier. And I am 10,000% okay waiting 5 days so other trans people can also have surgery. And the real numbers would be much lower than that. I'd probably have to wait less than a day. Your trans resources are fine. So,
I'm not sure what point Harrison over here is trying to make. I don't really, Oh, jeez. Oh, and it says here, so this is Harrison. Here, I think we found our third contestant for TikTok Tuesday. They, 24 years old, and also, get ready for this, says that she has DID. Another one of these multiple personality people. Fantastic. 29.2 thousand followers. It's just crazy.
that being said about thrift stores...
Oh, gross. Gross.
Someone donated a bunch of 5XL Hawaiian shirts. I only took 2 because I don't take from the people, but they're really fun. This is the other one I got.
Oh,
it's
gross.
the same brand as a 7XL sweater I got over 10 years ago that I still have. Made a video a little while ago showing some repairs I did to it. Bunch of flowers, bowling shit.
Oh my god, you're a
Very
huge
fun.
person.
Dear skinny people, when you're shopping at thrift stores, it is not okay to just put your finds in the fat section to save for later. Most thrift stores have a hold function. You just have to talk to someone. What's not an actual function of a thrift store is you putting your finds you want to save for later because maybe daddy's coming in a few hours or you get paid tomorrow. You putting that in the fat section so the fat people won't take it because it won't fit them. That must sound like a wonderful solution to you, but you know what that does to fat people who are already shopping in a section with limited options? They see something cool and wonderful. Oh my god, I might want that. And then it's a size small. Our options are already...
Man, this is... When your life is so easy, you have to create something like this to complain about. Stop putting small clothes in the fat section.
already incredibly limited at a thrift store. And then you do that shit. By doing that shit, you are guaranteeing that you are triggering or re-traumatizing a fat person. And that might sound extreme to you, but it's fucking not. Every time we go shopping, we are re-traumatized and triggered by this kind of shit. The fat section is not a holding...
Traumatized and re-triggered.
I was talking with the moon last night. The moon told me something about the sun and...
So, a question for other systems. Do all of your...
See, I told you, this is a person who thinks that there's multiple personalities.
Parts identify the same way, as in, do you call all your parts parts, or do you call all your parts alters, or do some parts identify as alters or parts? Like, for us, there are alters who are like, I am an alter, but there are some that just, they are parts. Because I recently identified a part, and I've been struggling to talk about them because they identify as a part, but, like, it's weird. It's different than being an alter. And this is also different than a fragment, because this part...
Damn. I mean, the level of mental illness that TikTok is creating is just unparalleled in human history. Jeez, man. What are you talking about, woman?
The host has been around. Wait, I don't think that's true. I think they've only been around since middle school. But either way, years, they're elaborated. They function differently than an alter. So they identify differently than one. Do any of you guys have that as well? So...
Well, Harrison, I can honestly say no. I do not have this problem.
Yes, I am scared. But, yes, this is something that needs to happen. I've known about the system for almost 2 years now, maybe even more than that.
weird shit. But I started discovering I was a system late 2020. But in that time, I have not left the front for more than 2 hours, and that was maybe once or twice. I rarely ever leave the front, and it's usually like a few minutes at a time. I deserve to rest. The system deserves to live the life and have a chance to take care of us better than I can. But it's also absolutely terrifying to...
You know, it's interesting is a lot of these people on TikTok, if you watch their videos, they talk about how it was around 2020 when I realized this about myself, whether it's being gay, trans, apparently having multiple personalities, etc. What was going on at the end of 2020? What was happening at that time? People being locked in their homes for extended periods of time was not good for mental health. Turns out this was not a good idea. This was not a good idea.
Give up your life and let someone else take over. Especially, like, I think in that video I said I've been host for 13 years, but I was the host that discovered we're a system. So I felt like I've been host for 24 years. And that's a lot to take in and deal with. But I deserve to rest, and I deserve to let the system do what it's fucking supposed to. Yeah.
Wait. So this person is saying that being the person, like being the host, whatever, she's tired because she's been the host or she's been the main person for most of the time. So she's talking about having the alters take over more because she's tired? What the What?
Yeah, the terms are similar because some awful, awful people in this world discovered that if you torture children in just the right way, you can program them like a computer. It is an absolutely horrendous process that no one should go through or commit, but you know, there are just disgusting people in this world that will do anything to have a mind-controlled slave.
I can tell you that, yes, I agree. There are disgusting people in this world, and we are currently looking at one of them right now.
And so there are organizations built within actual organizations, hidden away, blah, 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 that do this constantly, every day, to thousands of children. And it sounds like conspiracy theories, and that's because they want it to sound like conspiracy theories.
Okay, I gotta look up whatever this
panic
is.
Thing was just the surface level of all of this. If you actually dug down and talked to the victims, a lot of them were systems. Made that way through torture, abuse, rituals, scripts, and just a lot of people with the same horrendous goal. Sorry you had to find out this way.
So this is, I've never heard of this. We're learning a lot. I looked this up. It says trigger warning Ramcoa, RAMCOA. I'd never heard of this. And it's either a manufacturing company in New Jersey, or I think what this woman's actually referring to is ritual abuse, mind control, and organized abuse. God, they love coming up with these things. These acronyms and such. So this person's claiming to be, I guess, the victim of a cult, and that's what's made them a victim of a cult, and that's what's made them have multiple personalities. I don't know.
So hopefully at this point we all know that it's really bad to fake claim systems, especially when that can send them into denial spirals and all that other shit. It's also not good to tell someone that they definitely are a system. That is the job of a licensed therapist, even if you have all the information and all the evidence. Because our host found out about the system before he was supposed to, because he'd done a bunch of fucking research and figured it out. And we were not ready to show ourselves to him, and so he's getting more and more upset and frustrated,
is some crazy
and
shit.
doing more and more things to try and get us to come out and show ourselves. At one point, he was threatening to starve himself, so we would have to take over the body and feed it. We ended up having to do massive construction in the inner world, so we could give him some access to some altars without spilling the beans and opening up floodgates to every altar and all their trauma. And that construction was so extensive, he could feel it happening while awake in the front. Like, he knew there was something happening, something being built. It was so, like, all-encompassing in our brain.
Do you think these people really believe this? Or is it a way for them to feel special? Because this has got to be some of the craziest shit I've ever heard on TikTok. And we went over on one TikTok Tuesday a whole bunch of these crazy DID people, and none of them were as crazy as this. I mean, this is something else. This is next level. What the fuck?
And we did not have a therapist at the time. We still don't at this point. So we were just raw dogging that shit. Don't do that to people on purpose. If you think someone might be a system, give them some resources for dealing with the symptoms you see. Tell them to get assessed or like talk to their therapist about it. But in no way should you tell them that they are a system. Systems are covert for a reason. Most have a plan for how they're gonna bring themselves or show themselves to the host eventually. Don't disturb that process. So hopefully at this point we all know that
that doesn't make any sense at all.
So I did a stupid and assumed that my system coworker already knew about program systems. And so I just talked about it. And like, I wasn't giving any details or anything, but I was saying like I had resources about like program systems and like was giving someone resources and like they found out they were connected to a lot of the groups and stuff. And I looked over at her and her face was either I've been programmed or I have no idea what you're talking about. So I was like, do you know what programming is?
God, this stuff, the internet is just feeding all this crazy shit. I mean, look at these comments. You know, wait, you're not supposed to tell people they definitely are a system. That's how I found out I was a system. My mom is a system and doesn't know, but she knows I'm a system. Good Lord. Would you please share with us the resources on programming? We're deep. Oh my God. This is really bizarre, man.
And she was like computer programming? And so I had to share. There was also a singlet in the car, so that made it extra fun. But I just gave them the very basics of like, there are evil people out there who make systems on purpose and they have prescribed ways of doing it. And like, I feel bad telling them about programming, even though like it's a good thing to know about. And like, we literally watched one of our old videos talking about how you shouldn't tell people they're definitely a system. You also shouldn't definitely tell people they're a program system either. Thankfully, we don't know that. And like, I don't know if it was our fault, but they said after lunch, one of their...
Oh, a programmed system. Okay, so... This has to do with the ritual abuse that this person was talking about. So this person believes that they were abused in a way that was to specifically make them have dissociative identity disorder. Man, dude, this is this is crazy shit. What is going on here?
Their younger alters was triggered out and they were trying to work as a younger alter, and it's just I feel bad. But education, so
what are the odds, you know? I mean, this obviously this isn't real, but if it were real, it's supposed to be like incredibly rare to the point where it's like almost non-existent. What are the odds that two friends would happen to figure out that they're both DID systems? What are the odds of that?
So I made a video last week.
This is a person that should have been committed a long time ago and getting help. Instead, our healthcare system affirms this now and lets them cut their breasts off and pretend to be a man and say that there's a group of people building structures in an ethereal form inside their consciousness. That is something that only deranged people sleeping, in sewers would say. That's crazy.
Talking about how their gatekeepers have been threatening to replace me as host. They're slowly doing that. They're making an altar to replace me, it seems like. And they're like slowly building them up and like introducing them to like daily life a bit. So just randomly, I will just be living and suddenly I don't recognize anything around me and have to like recalibrate where I am. Or it's like, oh wait, is that new? No, that's always fucking been there. Or whoever this new person hasn't seen it yet, and it's weird. Like, I was in the bathroom at work today, and it took me a solid minute.
God, and your hair is disgusting. These people love touching their hair, too, which I guess is why the hair is so disgusting. God, this person smells terrible. And how many people tonight on this TikTok Tuesday have had these exact same glasses? This is weird, man.
As well go on.
So I got one of those Japanese candy snack bags from Amazon. This one did not come with a guide. Why is there a plum in a bag? I know pickled plum is a thing in Japan. I know they put it in rice balls and stuff. I've had it. I don't like it. But I've had it. Why the fuck is there a whole ass plum in a bag? Like, it's an actual fucking fruit. So I got one of those Japanese candy snack bags.
This is not as weird as you're trying to make it seem. So there's fruit in a bag. So what? I don't. What's the? I don't know.
So we've been very stressed out about needing to find an apartment and moving out and doing all that by ourselves for the first time ever. Like, we haven't done this shit before. And we have to deal with this whole fucking house. And my stomach churns with anxiety every time I have to think about it. And today, while at work, they being gatekeepers and shit, threatened to remove me as host if I can't get my shit together. I've been host for 13 years, and I rarely leave the front. And I was made host during another, like, big thing with moving and all that the first time we ever moved. So it's like, give me a fucking break. Give me a little room. So we've been very stressed out about needing to...
This is weird stuff, man. This is, if we lived in a society that actually wanted to help mentally ill people, you could just... We should have a whole, like, a branch of the police force or something that goes on TikTok and goes, okay, this person is clearly showing signs that they are off their rocker batshit crazy. And then we send someone there and pick them up and say, you have been involuntarily committed because you clearly need it. Obviously not really. We wouldn't do that. But these people do very clearly need help. Yeah, you can have Law and Order TikTok unit where they go investigate, knock on the front door. This is a wellness check. We saw your TikToks. You seem to be absolutely insane. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to vote for the winner of TikTok Tuesday. Who's crazier? All right. I think it's amazing that this person's name actually is William. Or Bill. All right, so the contestants are William, Anna Marie, and Harrison. Who is the psychotic winner of TikTok Tuesday? Place your votes now.
Have you all ever seen a family where you were just like, damn, that bloodline should have been eliminated in some kind of clan war? Like that much intermarry breedy should have never been allowed to leave Europe. Now, I'm not saying I was thinking that, but...
How very, very bizarre, William.
No, it's not. I was gonna write a script for this one, but I couldn't work around the deep frustration I feel whenever I have to cover a Trans 101 topic. I'm an educator. That's my online brand and my real life job. I know my responsibility to meet people where they're at, be patient with them, and hold people's hands through potentially difficult subject matters. But some things are just so incorrect that I feel no need to respond to them. Not during Marsha P. Johnson's Pride Month. The best video about autogynephilia, or AGP, was made by Natalie Wynn 4 years ago, and you could watch that one. And because telling people to just Google it and listen to marginalized people doesn't really work because most people lack the media literacy to do so and will probably just fall down a TERF pipeline if they Google the word autogynephilia. Here's a bit of advice that's generally applicable to most marginalized groups. If you want to learn about an issue faced by a marginalized
what a crazy person.
ask the following who questions to get your answer. What are the positions being contrasted with one another? Which position reinforces
God,
power?
this dude loves the sound of his own voice.
Power? Who benefits from each position, and who is further marginalized in each position? Does one position map well onto negative stereotypes about that group? And does one encourage a positive, complete understanding of that group, emphasizing their humanity? Who is or what kinds of people are talking about the issue? If people from outside the marginalized group mostly aren't talking about the issue or using it ironically.
All right, Anna, I completely zoned out. I don't even remember what we're talking about.
So I showed a coworker some old photos of me from before I transitioned, and I got a reaction I'm not used to, but I know other trans people get more often. And I usually don't get this comment because I'm fat, but I showed him a very good picture of me, and he's also attracted to fat women. But it's that air of, oh my god, you were attractive, and like you could have just stayed that. You could have just stayed an attractive person, but you gave up all of that to be trans, to be your more true self. And he got to that point of like, this is what was best for me, and like I had to give up on being a pretty woman to be my true self. But a lot of people will stop at, oh, but you were so attractive, why would you ruin yourself like this? Oh, you're so stupid and ignorant, how could you do such a thing? Because I needed to. I got very good at being a woman, but it was all an act. I was not grounded in that experience at all. I am way more grounded and sure of myself and who I am and my interactions with
crazy
others
town.
like this than I would be as the prettiest woman in the world. I had to look myself in the face as someone who was just accepting how beautiful they were, that they didn't need to be that, and they'd be much happier as the ugliest man in the world. But look how cool I am now.
Oh, God.
Worth it. So I showed a coworker.
Harrison, you crazy bastard. God, this dude, man. It looks like Harrison is coming out as the winner of TikTok Tuesday. Don't forget, place your votes. Do it now. Do it now. Let's see what else William's got. You gotta go past the ones we already saw.
I made.
Oh, God. And we watched a lot of
What do you
Buffalo
want?
Bill, didn't we?
What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
Every chance I call him.
You have grander space ambitions.
I wanna take a ride on your disco stick.
Oh, God.
I wanna take a ride on your.
Good Lord.
Let's do this right. Let's go to.
Does this one?
No, William.
Really explain what you do for work.
This is what I do for work. Except it's not just tasting wine, it's also ordering wine, doing inventory, dealing with people's BS. But yeah, drinking is part of my job.
Okay, poorly explained.
Yeah, why does he talk like that? I mean, it's just unsettling.
Dealing with people's BS. But yeah, drinking is part of my job.
Okay.
Super
Ranking
creepy.
celebrities by how surprised I was when they came out as non-binary. JVN, I love you, but 0 out of 10. I wasn't surprised at all. In fact, I predicted it years before it happened. I'm giving India Moore a 5 out of 10.
Good lord, this dude is...
Prosecco is
Oh
a sparkling wine
god.
from northern
It just
Italy.
keeps getting worse.
The primary grape used in Prosecco is called Glera. If you like affordable and easy drinking sparkling wine with apple and pear flavors, then Prosecco is for you. Drop your Prosecco questions in the comments. Like and share for the next sparkling wine video about Cava.
Don't forget, this is a beautiful and brave woman. If you can't see that, you're a bigot.
This is actually a really good question. Records weren't always made out of PVC. They used to be made out of shellac, which is a resin that's excreted by the female lac bug. This material was like a reddish, blackish color depending on where it was sourced, and this reddish, blackish color...
Why is this person talking about records? Don't ruin records for me. Get out of here.
Polyvinyl chloride is poison, and here's why. The entire use the term trans-oriented. I don't think I've heard it said in that way before. I think the term I've heard is trans-attracted. I don't know if that's like a east-west thing. I don't know how that word came to be. There's a lot of discourse around the word and about like disclosure and all these different things. I'm sure you have thoughts on.
Thanks for bringing that up. It's actually a term on our site that we use that defines men who are attracted to trans women, but with more in-depth attraction, not just attraction per se. It's more like you are already aware of transgender issues. You're already aware, not necessarily you're not a first timer, not necessarily that you have already experienced being with a trans woman, but more like you already have the knowledge of what a transgender woman.
These people think that they're actually talking about stuff. This is crazy. What the hell are you talking about?
Experience in her life. We wanted to encompass all those things, because if you want to date somebody, you should know their history in the first place. You can't just randomly ask and like, so why did you transition? Are you here to interview me, or are you here to make me fall in love with you? What? Like, please make yourself clear. So that's why we use the trans-oriented men, because we also wanted to psychologically prepare our men that you should be prepared when you date trans women.
Yeah, because attraction is just one part of it. If you want to be in love with someone, if you want to love someone, love is a verb. It's not just attraction, it's being able to advocate for them and speak up for them and be aware of what they go through.
Very true. That's why we wanted to use the trans-oriented term. Trans-oriented.
Is that a term? Yeah. Is that a term you came up with, or is that you picked from somewhere?
I think it was a term that we just come up with. We haven't really read about something like that, but I think we came up with it.
Yeah.
Dude, look, everyone, so many of these people on this TikTok Tuesday have had these exact glasses. There it is again. There's the round glasses. That is hip with the people who don't know what gender they are group. I don't know why. God, apparently Anna has a podcast. Man, that would be painful to try to listen to this. Let me see if I can find it. How to support BLM. That's on Anna's website. Wow. Thank you. Huh. This dude does not make it easy to find a link to the... I'm trying to find it. I can't. There isn't an obvious link to it. But Anna Marie is available for hire. It says whether you need a speaker for your department's regular seminars or a second pair of eyes for your company's DEI practices, I would be thrilled to help you accomplish your goals. I'm good. I am good, Anna. I am just fine on that. I cannot find it. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't Anna's show. Maybe that was Anna being on someone else's show. Maybe. I don't know. All I know is this is a beautiful face. Truly feminine. This is what a woman looks like. Trans women are women. Oh. All right, one more video from Harrison. We come back around.
This has
come back
bothered
around
me for almost 2 decades, and I just need to talk about it, see if this was okay. I went to the doctor when I was like 4, 5, 6, I don't know. And when they were doing the exam at one point, they reached downstairs and like did a quick examination and left. I asked my mom why, and they said, oh, they're just checking for hair down there to see if you've started puberty. But in the next years, when they did that, they were checking my armpit. So, was that appropriate? Okay, this is...
What a weird... Moving on.
So, I don't know if our system was programmed or not. At this point, I'm leaning towards no, very little, or we've done a lot to undo it at this point. I don't get to know that shit. But why that's relevant is because on Friday at work, my manager was messing around and he poked my shoulder and he was like, activate assassin mode. And I just had to be like, well, hope that doesn't actually do something. It didn't. And we just made jokes about it for the rest of the day. But it's like, God, I really hope I don't start murdering people right now. So I don't.
Harrison, you are one crazy bastard. And I think that's going to call the end of the vote. And clearly, Harrison is the winner of this week's TikTok Tuesday. This guy clearly needs some help. This lady. Yeah. I'm scrolling through some of these videos. I mean, good Lord. Well deserved, Harrison. Well deserved, the winner of TikTok Tuesday. Crazy as hell. God, and you know Harrison just smells god-awful all the time.
But I absolutely love it. Really comfortable. I love overalls and shit. I hate wearing pants, but like, hell yeah. So I just...
What? Who would, in their right mind... Well, actually, what am I saying? What am I saying? I'm not even going to finish that. Gee. I was going to say, who in their right mind would want to wear coverall shorts? I mean, that's... You can't really see it. But these are shorts. But I caught myself. No one in their right mind would. That's why Harrison is doing it.
So I hope I'm not the only one who's been getting those videos about stealing gems from 2D girls and rotating her hat. I'm obviously the only one at my work who has. My coworkers have been pranking each other, moving each other's stuff around, and my brain had the dumb idea of one of them going into the fourth dimension, rotating all of their stuff. And I was just laughing to myself, so I then had...
I have no idea what's going on here. Ah, Trudeau, the man himself. The leader of the great nation to the north. Thank you, sir. Super chat jukebox. Activate.
Stories of fabrications and false. They write lies, they write false stories. They know they're false, it makes no difference.
I love me some good emo Trump. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I had to explain the
shut up,
fourth
Harrison.
dimension.
Shut up, Harrison. All right, this has been TikTok Tuesday. We have our winner. I can't wait to roast him on Friday in the TikTok Tuesday winner segment. Make sure you liked the stream if you haven't. Make sure you're subscribed. Check out the merch. All that stuff. You know what it is. Oh, let me I'll share the link to Harrison in the Discord in the TikTok Tuesday channel. The T3 winner. If you want to watch some of Harrison's... Oh, gosh. Look at the profile picture. Ugh. Oh, Harrison. My dude. What is wrong with you? All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you had a good time. Go watch some of Harrison's TikToks if you want. God, a guy just... It's... I can smell him. I can smell him through the videos. Good God. All right, guys. I'll see you on Friday. Have a good week.